Visit licensureexams.com and try our samples completely free of charge.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Licensure Exams podcast, where we explore the world of therapy and what you need to know to prepare you for your licensure exam. We're giving a shout out to therapists getting ready to test from the home of hot dogs, topped with yellow mustard, chopped onions, sweet pickle relish, a dill pickle spear, tomato slices, pickled sport peppers, and a dash of celery seed on a poppy seed bun. Any guess what city I'm talking about, Stace?
Well, being a vegetarian, Linton, I prefer the city's deep dish pizza with its thick crust and generous amounts of black olives and other tasty toppings. Ah, I can taste it now.
You're not one of those people who like pineapple on a Chicago deep dish pizza, are you, Stacy?
That's right, buddy. Don't knock it till you try it. And today we'll be looking at the differences between mental health counseling and marriage and family therapy. So if you get a question that asks you for an evaluation based on a marriage and family therapy perspective rather than a mental health counseling orientation, you'll know what they're talking about. And we'll start by briefly defining the two fields of therapy. Understanding these will set a solid foundation for the rest of our discussion.
First up, mental health counseling. This is a broad field that focuses on helping individuals manage and overcome mental health issues and emotional challenges. Mental health counseling does tend to focus on the individual's internal world. It often involves a variety of individual-focused therapeutic techniques with an emphasis on personal growth, coping skills, and symptom management.
Right. Depending on which theoretical approach you take, you may still consider relational and systemic factors when contextualizing the client's issues. For example, a therapist using attachment-based therapy would examine how early relationships and attachment styles impact the individual's mental health. However, the primary focus is still on the individual's internal experiences and personal development.
Exactly. The same goes for other psychodynamic theories, which involve understanding how the client's early childhood and past experiences influences their current behavior. Even though these therapies consider relational aspects, the emphasis remains on the individual's internal world.
Exactly. Marriage and family therapy, or MFT, on the other hand, is grounded in the assumption that a person's behavior is deeply interconnected with their family dynamics. An individual's problems cannot be understood in isolation from their family and relational context. Problems are seen as symptoms of dysfunction within the family system.
Okay. The marriage and family process involves identifying and altering dysfunctional relational patterns and enhancing communication among all family members. The MFT assumes that changing the family dynamics can lead to changes in individuals' behaviors.
Now, let's bring these concepts to life with a case study. Imagine that you're a therapist who works with individual clients. Clinton, a 30-year-old male, presents for therapy struggling with anxiety and depression. Clinton reports feeling overwhelmed by his work, experiencing frequent panic attacks, and having difficulty sleeping. His wife, Tracy, is really worried about him and suggested that he make an appointment to see you. So what might therapy look like from a mental health counseling perspective, Linton?
Well, therapy would start with a comprehensive assessment to gather detailed information about Clinton's history, current symptoms, and functioning. This might involve asking about his family background, work stressors, and any past mental health issues.
Okay, got it so far. So even though you're working with Clinton individually, you're still going to ask him about his family because family background and dynamics can play a significant role in understanding his current mental health issues. It helps to provide a comprehensive picture of the factors that are contributing to his anxiety and depression.
Exactly. Understanding Clinton's family background can reveal patterns or stressors that might be influencing his mental health. Next, we would develop a treatment plan. Together, Clinton and I would identify specific realistic goals for therapy. These goals might include reducing the frequency of panic attacks, improving sleep, and developing better coping strategies for managing work stress.
Now, what would the same case look like if Clinton saw you as a marriage and family therapist? Let's say he comes in with his wife, Tracy, and they wanted to participate in couples therapy.
Okay, in this scenario, the therapy process would start with a comprehensive assessment of both Clinton and Tracy. You would explore the relationship dynamics, communication patterns, and how Clinton's anxiety and depressions fit into the broader context of their family system. This assessment helps to identify any dysfunctional relational patterns and areas of conflict that need to be addressed.
So the focus is on how Clinton's symptoms are playing out within the context of his relationship with Tracy, right?
That's right. From a systemic perspective, the goal is to understand how Clinton's mental health issues are affecting the couple as a unit. And as we develop a treatment plan, our goals might include improving communication between Clinton and Tracy. 2, enhancing their emotional connection and addressing any relational stressors that might be contributing to Clinton's anxiety and depression.
So, from this marriage and family therapy perspective, instead of focusing solely on Clinton's individual experience, like you might as a mental health counselor, you're looking at the bigger picture of how his symptoms are part of a relational system. And what techniques might you use in this context?
Stacy, that depends on what theoretical model that you're going to be using.
Of course.
As an emotionally focused therapist, for example, the techniques would be centered around understanding and transforming emotional responses within the relationship. You might reframe problems in terms of attachment needs. This technique involves shifting the couple's perspective from blaming each other to understanding how their actions are influenced by unmet attachment needs. Or if you're using cognitive behavioral therapy, your favorite, Stacy, for couples, you would focus on using techniques that change maladaptive thought patterns and behaviors that contribute to relationship distress. One of the most common techniques used in CBT is what, Stacy?
Your favorite, Linton, cognitive restructuring.
Right, when you help each partner recognize and modify distorted thinking.
Okay, thanks, Linton. So there you have it, short and sweet like pineapple on a pizza. We've explored the fundamental differences between mental health counseling and marriage and family therapy. We talked about how mental health counseling focuses on the individual's internal world, employing techniques to manage and overcome personal mental health challenges. In contrast, marriage and family therapy views individual problems as interconnected with family dynamics, working to alter relational patterns to improve overall functioning.
And if you have any toppings that you would like us to cover, besides pineapple, as you're preparing for your licensure exam, leave a note at the end of the podcast. And as we always say, remember,
It's in there.
it's in there. Stacy, pineapple, really?
Beats what you do to salmon, smothering it with curry powder and capers.
What do you mean? Those are classical toppings used in high-end cuisine.
Sure, Linton, sure. Just like the anchovies that you pawn off as a classical pizza topping, pairing them with cheese, tomato sauce, olives, capers, and garlic. The only thing I can figure out, Linton, it's a Florida thing.
Yeah, what can I say? See you next time, Stacy.
Bye, Linton.